she continues to be out. She has now missed 19 straight games for the Indiana Fever. She's making progress, they say. She's working out in some 5-on-0 activities, which means that she's not doing real scrimmaging yet. And the coach says that she's going to have to go through at least several practices before there's a possibility of her coming back. So the clock is ticking here. There's only 3 games left in the regular season, fellas. And she has been sidelined since June the 15th now with that groin injury. And then injured her ankle while she was, doing whatever workout she was doing to try to get ready to come back from the groin injury. And that has possibly set her back even further. But for all we know, the groin alone has been enough to keep her out for the rest of the season. What do you guys think? If you're the Indiana Fever, do you want to rush her back at this point when realistically, I would say the Indiana Fever, even if Caitlin comes back and is playing well, I don't think they have much of a chance to do anything in the playoffs. Do you just write this one off and let her focus on getting healthy, or do you bring her back at the very end and run at least some risk that she re-injures herself?
Well, you remember last year they never got a home playoff game with her, so that could be reason enough. The way believe they've changed the format this year, so I think they're guaranteed at least one. They're third. To your point, they're one game over 500. They're 21-20. Like, I don't know, jeopardize the franchise for butts in the seats. Because by the way, she hurt herself. She really hurt herself that exhibition game against Brazil back in Iowa. That's really where it all started, and she felt compelled to play in that game. My point is more rest, man. More rest. Give it a mulligan. Take the year. Don't bring her back.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you there on that. And you're right, Tim. They have addressed what happened last year, because the way that they had it last year in the first round of the playoffs, it's best of 3. And it's still best of 3 in the first round. The top 8 teams out of the 13 teams in the WNBA make the playoffs. So it's a pretty favorable arrangement right now to get into the playoffs in this league. And the first round is 3 games. And last year they had it set up so that the team with the higher seed got games 1 and 2 at home. And you only got a game if you won one of those, if you were the lower seed. And the Fever were the lower seed, and they got swept in the first round of the playoffs. I think it was by Connecticut, Tim, but keep me honest. Yep. And so they never got to fill up the Gamebridge Fieldhouse for a playoff game last year. So quickly, the WNBA taking action to make sure that never happens again. The first round of the playoffs, still 3 games, but it's 1-1-1 format now. The other change that they've made is the final series is now going to be 7 games rather than 5. So
like the big boys. I like it.
Rocking with what we have seen. Yeah,
I like it. Yeah,
I don't know. 5 would be enough for me. I don't know if we need 7 games for that. Ron, I got a feeling Ron agrees with me. Ron's wondering why the finals can't be 3 games. Sophie Cunningham. It's been a minute since we've mentioned Sophie Cunningham on the program. She obviously suffered that MCL injury that has put her out of action for the season. And, well, from tackling players who had given Caitlin Clark a hard time, to starting her own podcast, to twerking in malls, to now doing this on her social media with her big knee brace on. We can't play the music for you, but she's just singing along to a song like some fucking 14-year-old girl in her bedroom, Ron. Except for this is an almost 30-year-old, 7-year veteran of the WNBA dancing around half naked with her knee brace on to entertain us. Look, Ron, I don't want to go like full conservative middle-aged dad here.
Oh, but I'm going to.
I'm not impressed with it. Look, she's a pretty woman, but the internet is full of pretty women. The world is full of pretty women. You know what's even better than being beautiful? Being classy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what happened to classy and beautiful? And she insists on doing this. She's acting like an overgrown teenager.
Well,
This
she's
woman
also
is almost 30, dude, and she's a pro athlete, and she's acting like some teenage girl in the bedroom whose parents need to have a talk with her.
she's
Is
coming
what it seems
across
like to me.
super, super thirsty, which thirsty's never a good look. Listen, she's an attractive woman. And you know what? If every once in a while, just in the scheme of life, she posts an Instagram or a TikTok where she happens to be wearing a bathing suit, there's nothing wrong with that. But she's just so thirsty right now. I saw that on TikTok, and there were some comments in there that were like, "Would you just be done with this and start an OnlyFans account already?" Like it just seems like that's the
Yeah,
trajectory that she's going.
trying too
Yeah,
hard.
it's
Just
so
trying too hard.
it's such a bad look. When you try that hard, it's a terrible look.
Yeah,
Like
and
it.
I'm not offended. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people who's like, my
No,
eyes, I saw
no.
flesh or whatever, you know? But if you were her parent and we're old enough to be her dad, you know what I mean? Like
Well, my daughter's
if
29,
it was
so
my kid, I would take my kid aside and I'd be like, honey, what's going on?
yup.
Like you don't need to be shaking yourself around like a piece of meat in front of strangers all over the internet, particularly when she's got a successful career and she doesn't have to do that. You know, so
Yeah.
maybe she'll reconsider this, but some maturity issues